So far in our docu-series, we've seen all the events leading up to Diddy's arrest, from the loss of his father to a college stampede to shocking allegations, bringing forward the hidden truths and making sense of a legacy under siege. This is the story of Sean Diddy Combs, the man who lived a life larger than most. Welcome to part 3 of Surviving Diddy, the Boule bad boy. Disclaimer. The following documentary contains allegations in investigative journalism based on publicly available information. All claims that involve illegal activity are alleged, and viewers are advised to form their own opinions.
I like the public, you feel me?
Yeah.
I like niggas to see how I like if you speak to Jodeci or Puffy or any of the niggas, they been at my house, they all see me they all know I'm a big.
You know, do I think Diddy gay? I don't know what that means. Do I think Diddy is a bisexual? Yes. Yes, I do.
In a life lived under the relentless spotlight, hidden secrets have begun to spill out of the closet and into public view. In this episode, we'll uncover the details and examine the truths they reveal. We'll look at his connections, break down the charges, the Booker Diary saga, the alleged victims, and we'll look at the lawyers that have rose to fame during these legal proceedings. Everything will be presented in a clear and easy-to-digest format. In the world of comic books, Thanos could manipulate cosmic energy. The infamous Magneto controlled magnetic fields. If Sean Diddy Combs were a comic book villain, his superpower would be the ability to turn a track into a hit and allegedly baby oil.
He just started squirting it at her, squirting it all over her body. Her body got more and more limp, and she couldn't figure out essentially what was causing it, because it wasn't as if she was forced any drugs. She said she had a cup of water that she took a sip of.
We'll delve into Ariel Mitchell Kidd at a later stage. Agent Ray J.
Ray J has had a hand in everything that's current black culture. Hey, remember when Fabulous was real hot?
Yeah, scorching.
But remember when he did that shit to Ray J?
I believe allegedly Ray J had something to do with Whitney Houston, and whether he gave her the bad package, you know, him being there in the last moments of her death, her being abused, you know, me seeing him with Clive Davis the night before Whitney died, which was weird to me because he didn't have no relationship with Clive Davis like that back then, to be hanging with Clive Davis at a Grammy rehearsal, and then the next day Whitney got killed. I'll never forget that. I remember Clive Davis wearing that red tie, which is supposed to be symbolic to blood.
That's right. That's what's up, bro. Right. You're such a gentleman. You good boy.
In Hollywood, the concept of handlers is often whispered about among insiders. Kanye West brought attention to celebrity trainer Harley Pasternak, revealing messages in which Pasternak allegedly threatened to institutionalize him and permanently separate him from his children. But how does a trainer wield such troubling power over their clients? And then there's Ray J. In his case, many have speculated that he operates not as a handler, but as an agent provocateur, a figure who blends in as everyone's friend while covertly influencing cultural shifts. Allegedly, Ray J's role is to stir the pot, incite chaos, and subtly steer the behavior of those around him, often to their detriment. Over the years, his presence in several pivotal events raises questions about the true extent of his influence.
Damn, like you didn't even really have to mention a nigga, you know what I'm saying?
In a now infamous secret video recording that former B2K member Raz B did in conversation with Ray J. During the call, Ray J reveals that both Diddy and Jay-Z had contacted him regarding Raz B's recent behavior.
Trying to tear the situation up because I never even said anything along the lines where people could even get the idea. Well, we should. Ray, I've been trying to work with you for years, my nigga. You're in a position to actually really do some things for me.
I know, but what I'm saying, Raz B, like, you can even get your own reality show.
So, Ray, nigga, look, I got you. Whatever.
I need you to rephrase that shit, Raz. Like, you got niggas that hit me every day. Puffy, everybody, Jay-Z, everybody calling.
Done, I got you.
For those unfamiliar, Raz B had a controversial period in 2010. He alleged that several male performers and managers in the industry had been involved in inappropriate grooming practices, claiming he and many more were victims of such alleged abuse. But why would both Combs and Jay-Z personally reach out to Ray J about Raz B? At this point, we know that fame can be a powerful drug and people can get easily hooked. Did Raz B retract his statements in exchange for a reality TV role? And if so, did Ray J play a part in sorting that out? After all, isn't Ray J just Brandy's brother? Or is there more to his role in Hollywood than meets the eye?
Okay, so check this out. It's me, Tyrese, Ray J, and F. Gary Gray. You know, I'm a type of nigga, I like variety, man. I like people that's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? I like different personalities. So I was like, I never knew they would become what they are today. But you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, that sounded like the type of night I want to have in Vegas. You understand what I'm saying? Tyrese keep on talking about like how you got to get back for church. And we just like, yo, the night ain't start. You got to get back for church. We in motherfucking Vegas, nigga. Like, you can go to church next week. You know what I'm saying? Sending your thing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but we in Vegas. Don't be bringing God into this situation. Don't bring God into this situation. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Ray J. So Ray J is like just really like feeling like Ray J right now.
According to court documents, Diddy's infamous freak-off parties were allegedly orchestrated in a manner strikingly similar to Jeffrey Epstein's notorious gatherings. These events, it is claimed, were not just about indulgence. They were a strategic tool for leveraging power, a place where business deals could be forged or derailed, using compromising situations as a form of blackmail to safeguard certain interests. Now, it's no secret that Ray J and Diddy shared a lively partying relationship, but whether Ray J or even Tyrese participated in these controversial gatherings currently remains unanswered.
Ray J has known Diddy most of his life. He considers him a mentor as well as one of his closest friends. He has not spoken out since Diddy's arrest. Joins us now.
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm good, and I'm happy to meet you. Thank you. What do you want people to know about how these allegations hit you? Had you ever thought you would hear this about the man?
I didn't. And I think it's a different time in this game. And, you know, when you look at our mentors and the people that have kind of shaped this culture, it's important to acknowledge the mistakes that they've made. And we have to hold everybody accountable for what they've done. But I don't think this is a time to tear anybody down, right? Instead, it's a time for this industry and everybody that's going through this and seeing this to learn from the mistakes and create a roadmap for the future of the industry together, right? In unity. I think that's the next plan that I think needs to be put in play. And
what a fantastic interview. Truly a masterclass in timing. But here's the real head scratcher. Why would Ray J, of all people, turn around and use Diddy's downfall as the perfect opportunity to launch his own news outlet? Weren't they friends? Or maybe in Hollywood, friendship is just another word for business opportunity.
Asses are being taken in ways that nobody can explain. Do you chuckle? Do you laugh? Because I see a lot of jokes out there right now talking about baby oil. Everybody got a joke about having baby oil and lube. I don't use baby oil. Lube sometimes in sex makes it better. Should I come out with Ray Y jelly and do some kind of like skit and say, KY just gave me a deal. Ray Y Jelly, I got 1,000 of them. Ha 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 ha.
This puzzling move has left many wondering, why was Ray J the one to step into the spotlight? And perhaps more intriguingly, was someone behind the scenes encouraging him to make this bold play? This led to Diddy's sons allegedly attacking Ray J at an after-party. In this segment, we break down the charges.
Your parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time.
Racketeering, arson, bribery, obstruction of justice, and trafficking by force. These are the charges that Sean Diddy Combs faces. Racketeering is a charge that paints the picture of a calculated criminal enterprise. Prosecutors allege that for years, Diddy orchestrated schemes to protect his empire, using power and influence to silence those who stood in his way. If convicted, he could face up to 20 years in prison. This was filed by U.S. Attorney Damian Williams, who famously broke onto the scene during the federal raid. Arson is rarely linked to celebrity cases, but here it's part of a narrative alleging destruction of evidence and intimidation tactics. If found guilty, Diddy could face up to 20 years in prison if convicted. Bribery is the oldest tool of corruption. Some say America was built on bribery and blackmail, but in this instance, prosecutors claim Diddy used financial incentives to secure silence and influence, shielding himself from scrutiny for years. If convicted, he's looking up to 15 years in prison. Obstruction of justice strikes at the heart of accountability. The government alleges Diddy worked tirelessly to derail investigations and bury the truth. This wouldn't be the first time someone's been convicted of this. If found guilty, he faces up to 20. Perhaps the most harrowing and revealing charge, sex trafficking by force. An accuser has stepped forward with allegations that could shake the very foundation of Diddy's legacy. From what we know, that accuser may still be Cassie. Also with Tony Busby's alleged 100-plus victims. This charge carries a potential life sentence, reflecting its gravity. And of course, the decade-old question, who murdered Tupac Shakur? There has been many theories, but one name keeps coming up. Sean Combs. Allegations have pointed to him for years, and things took a wild turn when Keith D, who we introduced in part 2 of our docu-series, dropped a bombshell. In a recent interview, Keith D claimed that Diddy supposedly failed to pay him and his nephew for the killing of the rap icon. This interview reignited one of the darkest mysteries in hip-hop, and now with Tupac's family desperately seeking closure, things are getting real. Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, who has a flawless record when it comes to high-profile cases, is now representing the Shakur family. Many believe that if Diddy manages to dodge the other charges he's facing, this could be the final blow. If Diddy's ever found guilty in this, he could be facing life behind bars, or worse, the death penalty. It's a ticking clock, and the stakes have never been higher. The Circle of Trust. In this segment, we will delve into some of the key figures named in the lawsuits, as well as explore other notable individuals who have maintained significant connections to Sean Diddy Combs over the years. The new Rat Pack. When you think Rat Pack, Sinatra, Martin, and Davis Jr. might come to mind. But the early 2000s saw a revamped version. This trio self-anointed themselves as the new Rat Pack, throwing legendary parties and dominating headlines. Diddy and Kutcher began their friendship during their stint at MTV, with Diddy then helming Making the Band, and Kutcher doing pranks on Punk'd. The pair formed an unlikely but tight bond.
And you know what's crazy? I used to follow Diddy back in the day when Diddy had all of the songs out. I would hang out and watch him throw parties.
Sure, he famously threw his his white party
Bro,
out?
he would throw a party. One point, I went to Philly, followed him all the way to Philly. He threw a party, and he said, yo, Playboy, this party costs $1.5 million.
To throw?
I'm like, you are out of your mind. And I said, Puff, I'll throw you a party for $400. In LA, I'm known for throwing like these cool little parties. So he came to LA in my modest little home. He showed up, well, he called like Saturday morning. Yo, Playboy, I'm in town, make it happen.
Jamie Foxx brought undeniable charisma to the clique, and together they became the modern-day Rat Pack, known for hosting extravagant soirees and unforgettable parties. However, some of these gatherings came under public scrutiny when news broke in the mid-2000s about Foxx allegedly hosting naked basketball games.
Well, you gotta be
wait a minute,
careful.
though. What about those pictures that showed up?
What?
Didn't you have some pictures of you playing naked basketball? Or
I know it wasn't that. We was on the beach or something. I don't know. It was young in my career. You know how we do.
Did you kill the pictures somehow? Did you buy them
They
up?
killed. We bought. I think we had to pay for them. They found them in my house in Vegas.
Right.
And you know, Vegas years. Shit, I was about to start a whole circus act. I didn't know if I was gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? I had.
Strangely, all evidence of these events has been scrubbed from the internet, leaving many to wonder, what other pieces of web history have been quietly erased? But like all Hollywood fairy tales, the new Rat Pack fizzled out. Kutcher shifted gears in 2007 and began his anti-human trafficking campaigns. Was it just good PR? Or did Ashton witness something so unsettling it altered his course? Jamie Foxx, on the other hand, had a great career but has recently faced his own turmoil, including a near-death experience some alleges linked to bad blood with Diddy. In Fox's Netflix special, fans hoped he'd spill the tea. Instead, he barely touched the kettle.
Well, when he was asked about this in a public setting, he could have easily denied it, but he did not. I was informed that it was his daughter and his mother who had called and reported the incident. Mr. Foxx said that he asked his partner for an Advil, and he woke up 22 days later. In my life, I know how cheap the price of life is, and if you know you're under some federal scrutiny, and you know there's some people who may know too much about you, you may have an incentive to want to silence them or get rid of them. You know, it's just simple facts.
Is the truth buried in sealed federal cases? Although the Rat Pack's golden days may be over, questions linger. The Jigga Man. Roses are red, violets are blue. Are Jay-Z and Diddy friends? We want answers too. Despite years of perceived camaraderie, lawyer Alex Spiro labeled their relationship as strictly peer-to-peer. Jay-Z's swift and aggressive dismissal of recent allegations involving Diddy raised eyebrows. Was it disloyalty or self-preservation? After all, Hove's career is littered with whispers of betrayal, alleged friendships sacrificed for mogul status, and conspiracies linking him to Aleister Crowley's satanic practices.
With Jay-Z, man, he's involved, but he's involved with this shit, man. He involved with that play shit. Like, see, people don't understand the science behind Satan, Lucifer, and God. And if you notice, he calls himself Jehovah or Hove.
You know what I mean? But the book, when they realize, when they read and see how foul your mama is, how foul your sisters is, and all that shit, that's what's the shit they gonna really be. They gonna realize why you all fucked up person. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you know how you was sleeping in my mom's crib and shit. How my moms used to come get you and shit from fucking when you get locked up. Shit, your own moms don't know. You know what I'm saying, nigga? How she was taking us to the clinic when we was burning and shit, when we was fucking the same bitch. Your moms know that?
When some think of the Jigga Man, they envision success, fame, and unimaginable theories. But when it comes to the case, the narrative takes a different turn. The Jigga Man requested for the identity of his accuser to be revealed, and to effectively fast-track the court case. The judge showcased who's running the show and denied both requests. One of the wilder claims? His rumored fathering of Remir Satterthwaite, who's been fighting for a DNA test for years, only to be met with silence.
The reason Jay's ducking him is because his mother had him when she was 16, which means that Jay would have impregnated her at 15, and he was older.
Then there's the alleged underage relationship with Foxy Brown. These aren't just accusations. They're mysteries that make fans wonder. What's Jay-Z hiding? When the chips are down, real friends stand tall. Stevie J, the producer and reality star known for his televised controversies, seems to have stood 10 toes down for Diddy. But at what cost? According to claims in the civil suit, Stevie wasn't just a bystander at some of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. He allegedly facilitated male workers and even participated himself.
Curtis, what's good, man? You and your feelings about Daphne? Is she would gang them? Or is it that you sucking little Rod dick? How it go?
When it comes to the mounting accusations against Diddy, Stevie didn't skip a beat. But the question remains, was Stevie protecting a friend, or was he simply in too deep? Mary J. Blige and Lil Kim, the loyalists. Mary J. Blige and Lil Kim are among Diddy's longest-standing allies. But loyalty comes with layers. Court documents allege both women attended a 2014 Las Vegas party that led to horrifying accusations against Diddy. A woman claimed she was assaulted after being lured to his suite, with Mary, Kim, and even Nicki Minaj allegedly present at the party. What did they know? What did they see? Their silence leaves questions unanswered and fans uneasy. Aaron Hall, was he just a freak, or did he attend freak-offs?
A whole lot of niggas out there, from Jamie Foxx to like Denzel Washington to whoever. Everybody know me.
Yeah.
I like the public, you feel me? Yeah. I like for them niggas to see how I like if you speak to Jodeci or Puffy or any of them niggas, they been at my house, they all see me they all know I'm a big nigga.
Yeah.
If a touch my and she say my is small, then she's a lying bitch.
What on earth is going on? Knowing what we know now, one has to wonder, was Aaron Hall in a freak-off? And were the so-called spectators given consent by both parties to watch? In a lawsuit recently filed in the Supreme Court of the state of New York, plaintiff Liza Gardner alleges she was in the early 1990s by none other than Sean Diddy Combs and R&B singer Aaron Hall. Gardner's claims cast a harsh light on an era where boundaries were often blurred. Her courage in coming forward has brought this dark chapter into the spotlight, challenging the music industry's long-standing narratives of fame and unchecked power. The pursuit of justice continues as past actions are brought into the present, challenging the narratives of fame and power. But is her story a fact or fiction? I guess we'll find out. Robin Greenhill, the mysterious accountant. Unless you're part of the Free Britney movement, Robin Greenhill might not ring a bell.
2 is her birthday. Is she going to be okay working on her birthday?
Sure. What do you want her to play?
I don't know. I mean, can she rehearse on her birthday?
She's gonna rehearse.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
But her name is surfacing more frequently in troubling contexts. Greenhill, a longtime associate of Lou Taylor at TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group, has been implicated in legal proceedings involving Sean Diddy Combs. A civil lawsuit filed by producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones identifies Greenhill as the accountant responsible for allegedly facilitating payments to sex workers on Diddy's behalf. This isn't your average book-balancing job. Let's rewind to Britney's 13-year conservatorship, a legal arrangement spearheaded by Greenhill's boss, Lou Taylor. To give you some context to these two women, fans of Britney Spears have accused them of orchestrating a plan to take total control over Britney's finances, communications, and even her freedom. So who exactly was Greenhill allegedly wiring money to? According to court documents, some of the names include rap artist Young Miami, Instagram model Jade Ramey, and Daphne Joy, who also happens to be rapper 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend. These payments reportedly funded lavish gifts and services tied to Diddy's infamous freak-offs. But the rabbit hole doesn't stop there.
The best piece of advice I ever got from a mentor was to just do you.
Adding another layer of intrigue to this story is TriStar's founder, Lou Taylor, who Robin Greenhill works for. Lou has deep connection to faith-based circles. Her husband is the head pastor at the Calvary Chapel, Brentwood, a chapel that helped path the way for Kris Jenner's own church called the California Community Church. Jenner met a pastor who served at the Calvary Chapel, and the two co-founded the community church. So you can see that somehow, in the little town of Hollywood, everyone does business together, from financiers to places of worship. It's a web with lots of intricate pieces, everyone knows each other, and a lot of people professionally work together. Hollywood truly is a small circle, and that circle keeps getting smaller. Was Diddy using Robin Greenhill to mass payments tied to the alleged illegal activities? Only time will tell. Khristina Khorram, the alleged mastermind. We've already covered Khorram in part 2 of our docu-series. Diddy's chief of staff allegedly had her hands in everything, from managing the flow of pink cocaine to orchestrating lavish events. Dubbed the Ghislaine Maxwell of this operation by some, Khorram reportedly maintained order and chaos, ensuring the alleged illegal activities ran smoothly alongside Diddy's professional image. Allegedly, she may have played a pivotal role in Diddy's RICO case, proving that proximity to power often comes with a price. But what exactly did the team structure potentially look like? Because Diddy's a busy guy, could you imagine him personally buying those 1,000 bottles of baby oil? But before diving into her reports, let's spotlight Bronson Van Wyck, the acclaimed event planner behind many of Diddy's iconic parties, including his 40th birthday bash. While Van Wyck is not implicated in any legal cases, rumors of spiked drinks on that year have resurfaced in court filings. This raises questions about whether he might be called during the trials and what really goes into orchestrating such high-profile, headline-making celebrations. Faheem Muhammad and Michael Amir. We've already delved into their fast-track journey, from their early days with the Nation of Islam to working alongside the King of Pop and eventually Diddy. While the court documents barely touch on Michael Amir, Faheem Muhammad's name stands out, with allegations suggesting he has the capability to make people disappear. It's highly plausible that the pair worked closely with Khristina Khorram as their first point of contact. Brandon Paul and Frankie Santella, the Dope Boys. On March 27th, Brendan Paul found himself in handcuffs, attempting to board Diddy's private jet with cocaine and marijuana in tow. Lucky for him, his clean record offered a lifeline. The state attorney gave him the option to complete a 6-month drug diversion program, which he successfully finished, effectively erasing the cocaine possession charge. Paul reportedly answered to Khristina Khorram, Diddy's alleged right-hand fixer. While he hasn't been formally linked to Diddy's criminal case, questions linger. Could he be dragged in later? And more importantly, just how much has Brendan Paul shared with law enforcement so far? As vice president of Combs Global, Frankie Santella allegedly worked hand-in-hand with Paul. His responsibilities included handling cash, lots of it, to fund purchases of guns, drugs, and payments to sex workers. Perhaps the trust in Paul didn't extend to large cash sums, leaving Santella to play the financier. Both men, it's said, reported directly to Khorram. Whether this triangle operated with sinister precision or chaotic improvisation remains to be seen. What is clear is that this web of connections only raises more questions about Diddy's inner circle. Harve Pierre.
Make some noise one more time for Harve Pierre, y'all. Great guy. Great guy. Great guy. Good man, Harve. All right, you ready, y'all? Mr. President!
Puff told me to keep it short, so I'm going to keep it short.
Harve Pierre was Diddy's first staffer at Bad Boy Records when it launched in 1993, marking the beginning of a long-standing partnership. The two men had already worked together at Andre Harrell's Uptown Records, where their paths first crossed. At Bad Boy, Pierre served as an A&R director, overseeing many of the label's projects. Though he briefly left in 1995 for an executive role at RCA Records, he returned 2 years later and climbed the ranks, becoming Bad Boy's president in 2008, a position he held until 2017. In 2023, amid allegations surrounding Diddy, a plaintiff claimed that during Pierre's tenure, he used his position of power to groom and essay his former assistant. The lawsuit also alleges that Bad Boy Records turned a blind eye to the misconduct, raising questions about the company's culture during Pierre's leadership. For quite some time, Cuba Gooding Jr has been a fixture at high-profile parties, often caught in moments that some describe as unsettled or erratic. In early 2024, music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr filed a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, alleging sexual assault and harassment. Shortly after, Jones amended the lawsuit to include Cuba Gooding Jr, accusing him of groping and fondling Jones without consent during an event aboard Combs' yacht in 2023.
Like your name, for example, was mentioned in the Diddy case.
Which was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Because you barely know
This is
him,
the
right?
most ridiculous thing ever. But again, welcome to being a celebrity.
Gooding Jr is no stranger to controversy, having faced multiple allegations of sexual misconduct in the past. In 2022, he pleaded guilty to forcibly touching a woman in a nightclub, escaping jail time by completing court-ordered counseling. Both Cuba and Combs deny the allegations, and the lawsuit remains ongoing. 2025 will be an interesting year for the actor. Lucian Grainge, CEO of Universal Music Group UMG, and Jimmy Iovine, co-founder of Interscope Records, are influential figures in the music industry. Their associations with Sean Diddy Combs have come under scrutiny due to recent allegations and legal actions involving Combs. Lucian Grainge has faced criticism for allegedly turning a blind eye to excessive spending and questionable financial activities linked to Sean Combs and his freak-off parties. According to lawsuits filed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr., these financial discrepancies point to deeper systemic issues. But this raises a critical question. Should the CEO of Universal Music Group personally oversee every artist's spending, or does that responsibility lie solely with the finance department? And if Grainge bears some responsibility, how could Lil Rod's legal team convincingly argue that in court? Regardless, Grainge's legal team moved swiftly to handle the case, minimizing its impact. Shortly afterward, the label's attention seemingly shifted to a different narrative: the escalating beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. This pivot led some conspiracy theorists to speculate that the beef was amplified as a deliberate distraction to steer the public's focus away from UMG's allegations involving Diddy. Could this be a strategic move or just a coincidence? In the hip-hop community, Jimmy Iovine is a household name due to his ties to Dr. Dre. Where you find Dre, you'll find Jimmy, and vice versa. They're like two peas in a pod. But when it comes to Diddy, the connection is far less known about. Allegations surfaced, claiming that Iovine witnessed an incident during a dinner where Diddy assaulted Cassie Ventura. Despite this, Iovine reportedly never mentioned it to authorities and went ahead with a $50 million business deal with Diddy. The details and outcomes of this lawsuits directly linking Iovine to this context remain elusive in public records. Few are aware that Iovine faced a separate allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment. In November 2023, an unnamed woman accused him of sexual misconduct, and by February 2024, the case was quietly discontinued with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled and no costs were awarded to either party. A stark contrast to the noise surrounding Diddy's case. They say that blood's thicker than water and that you should never turn your back on family. Rumors have swirled for years that Justin's biological father might actually be Wolf Jones. Despite this speculation, Justin has always been publicly recognized as Puff Daddy's son and raised within his father's orbit. Through the ups and downs of legal battles, Justin has stood by Diddy's side, often appearing alongside his brother, King Combs, who, many say, is the spitting image of their father. Some claims suggest Justin may have unknowingly facilitated young women's introduction into Diddy's world. This is particularly intriguing when you consider that Diddy's former relationship with Lori Harvey began after she was first spotted with Justin, a moment we covered in part 2 of our docu-series. People also speculated on how much Diddy's children knew about their father's alleged actions. According to Diddy's former mistress, Gina Huynh, the kids were kept in the dark about his private dealings, shielded from the chaos. Still, the public wonders how much more about this family's dynamic and Diddy's influence will come to light. And if Diddy had the kind of legal representation that titans like Jimmy Iovine or Jay-Z have relied on, would his case have been less sensationalized? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This story is far from over. Have become household names. Meet Tony Busby.
In his office on the 73rd floor of Chase Tower,
we can see the entire city.
Tony Busby has sharks everywhere. Shark door handles, a sculpture, and not just any shark, the great white.
Now we're the biggest and we're the baddest and we're just floating around looking for something to eat.
Although Tony Busby is a well-decorated attorney with a track record of success, some critics have labeled his approach as a cash grab scheme, or, as Jay-Z might say, extortion. Love him or hate him, Busby's results speak volumes. From his first live press conference on the Diddy case, he has positioned himself as a pivotal figure in the unfolding legal drama, bringing his signature aggressive strategy to the forefront. Interestingly, Busby's involvement has not only turned heads in the courtroom, but also ignited an intense back and forth with Jay-Z and his powerhouse lawyer, Alex Spiro. The legal feud began when Busby amended his initial lawsuit to include Jay-Z, a move that raised eyebrows and set off a series of online exchanges and legal maneuvers between the two camps. Jay-Z, through Spiro, dismissed the allegations with sharp rebuttals, while Busby doubled down, citing evidence he claims implicates Jay-Z in broader conspiracies linked to the case. The tension escalated in December 2024 when Busby accused Spiro of attempting to use his media influence to sway public opinion. Spiro responded by questioning Busby's credibility, labeling him as a lawyer more interested in spectacle than substance. The online rants from both sides, coupled with strategic leaks as in pointed press statements, have added a layer of intrigue that has captivated conspiracy theorists and the general public alike. What does this all mean for the Diddy case? With Busby, Spiro, and their respective high-profile clients locked in a battle of egos, the courtroom has become more than a stage for justice. It's now a theater of power, influence, and strategic plays. As the drama between Busby and Spiro unfolds, it leaves us wondering, how will these legal heavyweights shape the narrative surrounding Diddy's case? And more importantly, will their rivalry uncover truths or further cloud the waters? Let's dive deeper into the players and tactics shaping this high-stakes showdown. Alex Spiro.
That's it. That's how this ends. There's no corruption. This is not a real case. We're going to see everybody in court hopefully tomorrow, not Monday, and I have nothing further.
What kind of...
Amir, 45 years. Aren't you worried? I mean...
Alex Spiro isn't just any lawyer. He's the go-to attorney for the elite when serious problems arise. Unlike Tony Busby, who owns his own firm, Spiro operates under the global powerhouse Quinn Emanuel Urquhart & Sullivan, which boasts offices across the world. While he's widely recognized as Roc Nation's legal frontman, Spiro's impressive client roster includes several high-profile figures. From defending Elon Musk in defamation cases and the Twitter employee exodus to representing Aaron Hernandez, Spiro's record speaks volumes. Hernandez's initial acquittal in 2016, before the conviction was reinstated in 2019, highlighted Spiro's skills. In 2019, Jay-Z called on Spiro to assist 21 Savage with his immigration case, and he's since taken on cases like Alec Baldwin's New Mexico manslaughter charge, secured restraining orders against Dame Dash for Roc Nation, and represented stars like Eric Adams, Mr. Beast, and Megan Thee Stallion. When Spiro speaks, his conviction is undeniable, and with an undefeated record, his experience is unassailable.
But, you know, I think right now, his silence is the worst thing for him if he is innocent. He needs to let people ask him questions, and he needs to be able to say his side of the story, as opposed to letting that lawyer talk. Because that lawyer, I don't trust that lawyer because I went to court with him. So to me, everything that guy says is, allegedly a lie, just based on my experience with going to court with him. I don't trust the Alex Shapiro dude. He's ill.
Spiro's credibility came under scrutiny when he claimed that Jay-Z and Diddy were never friends. Public perception, shaped by years of seeing Jay-Z and Diddy together, whether at award ceremonies, joint outings, or brunch parties, raises questions. Could the apparent camaraderie have been a facade? The situation echoes Jay-Z's alleged friendship with Dame Dash, with whom he built the legendary Rockefeller Records. That partnership ended in acrimony, widely considered one of hip-hop's biggest betrayals. Now, as Spiro, Jay-Z's trusted legal ally, represents Tupac Shakur's family in a case against Sean Combs, the lines between business and personal strategy blur. Is Spiro simply doing his job, or is Jay-Z proving once again that he's playing chess, not checkers? Mark Agnifilo. When it comes to high-stakes legal battles, Diddy doesn't take any chances. Despite facing a mounting series of allegations, his defense team boasts some of the most formidable names in the legal world. At the helm is Mark Agnifilo, a seasoned legal expert whose credentials speak volumes, although many online skeptics have ridiculed some of his legal tactics. Adding a curious twist to the narrative, his wife, Karen Agnifilo, is currently defending Luigi Mangione, who is coincidentally a fellow inmate sharing quarters together. Joining Mark is Tenny Geragos, dubbed the Nepo baby of law due to her lineage. Her father, Mark Geragos, is a legendary attorney who has defended some of the biggest names in entertainment, including Chris Brown, Winona Ryder, and most notably, Michael Jackson. Teeny brings her own expertise to the table, particularly in handling cases involving allegations of sexual misconduct, fitting perfectly for this case. Rounding out the team is Anthony Rico, a trailblazing death penalty lawyer with a remarkable career. Notably, Rico represented former bad boy rapper G. Depp in 2012 after the artist confessed to a decades-old murder. Rico's ability to navigate cases steeped in moral and legal quandaries makes him a valuable addition to the defense lineup. The Geragos family's ties to Diddy aren't new. In part 1 of our investigative documentary, we highlighted an odd connection through Jonathan Oddie, whose wild claims added fuel to the fire.
I had settlement with Sean, okay? And he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land all the contracts. It's his attorneys, which are Mark Geragos and Ben Mercedes. Mark Geragos used to be Michael Jackson's attorney.
Yeah, out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had he drugged Michael and they OD'd him, okay? He didn't overdose. They OD'd him because they keep the royalties of the music. Michael alone made $860 million alone last year, okay, in 2017, which who keeps that royalty? The music companies.
Hollywood often feels like a small town, where celebrities share not only lawyers, but coroners, chefs, surgeons, and even fitness trainers. The interconnectedness is striking, although we're not making the same conclusion as Oddie. But one must pause and think, how far-fetched are these connections? Really? Back to Diddy's legal team, one of the most immediate battle centers on Diddy's request to use a laptop in his cell. The government promised him a device 2 months after his incarceration to review new evidence, but the laptop has yet to materialize. Officials fear allowing Diddy unsupervised access could breach security protocols. The prison has offered 2 alternatives. He can use the laptop in the visitation room between 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m., or in a monitored Zoom conference room if legal staff are available. However, Diddy and Mark Agnifilo are pushing for full access in his cell, citing the need for adequate time to review extensive case materials. Whether the court sides with him remains to be seen, but the issue underscores the challenges of mounting a robust defense while behind bars. Despite the noise surrounding the case, Diddy and his legal team remain steadfast in denying all allegations against him. With a team like Diddy's, it's clear that every angle is being considered. But are they ready to face the Tupac case, which is allegedly represented by the legal shark Alex Spiro? Only time will tell. The Miami lawyer in the spotlight, Ariel Mitchell. Miami attorney Ariel Mitchell burst onto the scene early in the case, representing one of Diddy's accusers, Adria English. The partnership, however, didn't last long, with the two parting ways over what were described as irreconcilable differences. Mitchell filed a motion to withdraw from representing English in the SA lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, citing professional conflicts that rendered their collaboration untenable. Mitchell's public presence has been hard to miss, from interviews with Piers Morgan to fiery live streams with Jaguar Wright. Yet little is known about her background, adding an air of mystery to her persona. One thing is clear: Ariel Mitchell knows how to command attention, rarely appearing flustered under pressure. Adding intrigue to Mitchell's story is her reported connection to Courtney Burgess. Burgess claims to have co-authored a memoir allegedly based on Kim Porter's personal diaries. However, questions about the book's authenticity have swirled. How could Kim Porter's private writings end up in the hands of strangers? According to various claims, the diary's path began with Kim Porter before passing to Kimora Lee Simmons. From there, it reportedly landed with Courtney Burgess, who then shared its contents with Hollywood Wade. Wade, in turn, involved Matt Cox.
Right, but Courtney and Wade are talking, but Wade doesn't know this. So Wade talks to Courtney and says, "Hey, Courtney, I'd love to have you on the program. Love to talk about Tupac." And Courtney, he checks out Wade's channel and he figures, "Hey, Wade's got a good channel. Wade can get me some publicity." Mm-hmm. And he says, "Listen, man," he said, "I have a flash drive, one flash drive." He tells Wade he's got one flash drive that contains Kim Porter's memoir. Bits and pieces of a memoir that she was writing, right? Like her writings that was ultimately going to be a memoir. So she had a manuscript. And now Courtney has tried to get this published before. So he's actually got a book that he put out that he gave to somebody, and they're selling the books out of like the back of their cars. But when he talked to Wade, he said, "Wade, you might be able to get some eyes on this thing and help me get this book out there." So at that point, Wade actually contacted me and said, "Listen, this is what this guy's telling me." And I said, "Well, okay, is it the memoir? How did he get it?" He said that a close friend of Kim Porter's had given him the flash drive the day after her funeral. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "Well, wait," he said, "Would you want to do something with this? Maybe help this guy get the book published or put him on your podcast or something, like help get the message out there?" And I said, "Honestly, I don't do a lot of hip hop stuff. I don't know enough about hip hop." Wade talks about it. He knows all this stuff. He grew up with these guys and he knows their music, and I don't have a clue. So I kind of was like, "Yeah, I don't know." And then Wade said, "Listen, man," he said, "what do you think about me contacting Chris Todd?" And I went, he goes, "What do you think? Do you think Chris Todd might be interested?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Chris Todd, this is the kind of thing he looks into, kind of stuff he does." Like, I don't really know much about Chris Todd. I'd had him on my program a couple times. By the way, between this time, Burgess has arranged for Wade to get a hold of the book. He actually sent like somebody sends him or gives him a book, the actual memoir that Courtney has had published, these little sample books. Wade's read the book, and Wade tells me, like, "Bro, if this is true," he said, this dude's a monster." He goes, and it's like literally it's horrific. And then he's videoing the stuff, and it's everything that everybody knows. And this is all in Kim Porter's memoir that Wade is reading, and Wade's read it, and he's like, "Listen, it's messed up." And it talks about all kinds of stuff. Talks about the whole I'll Be Sure and Diddy, talks about the kids, talks about, I think it's Bieber, and I mean, like, he's got all kinds of people. J Lo is involved. Like there's all these celebrities are involved that are in the book. March 25th, 2024, Homeland Security serves a search warrant on Diddy's residences. Right? They hit him with the residences. They get a bunch of stuff. At that point, Wade contacts Todd. They go back and forth. They talk about it. Todd's interested, but he doesn't jump on it right away. Then the CCT footage comes out of Cassie Ventura in the hallway of the hotel getting slapped around and dragged off by Diddy. After the footage comes out, now Chris Todd is super interested. He contacts Wade. Hey, listen, put me in contact with Courtney Burgess. He connects the two of them. Burgess sends Todd the flash drive that he's got. Now, Chris Todd doesn't quite understand what's happening, right? He's listening to Burgess. Burgess gets him on the phone. Burgess tells Chris Todd, listen, this is what I've got. I've got this one flash drive. I'll send it to you. He sends it to him. He contacts him and says, how did you get this? And he says, because there's nothing I can do unless I know how you got this.
Right.
Burgess tells him that the day after Kim Porter's death, after her funeral, the day after her funeral, he was given that flash drive by Khorram Simmons.
The story gained some credibility when a cease and desist order was filed, allegedly by Diddy's sons, and rightfully so. With everything this family has endured, the last thing they would want is an unsolicited book being sold in their mother's name. Many followers of the case have also started to question Courtney's alleged connection to Khorram Simmons, as his story has shown significant inconsistencies. On multiple occasions, his representative, Ariel Mitchell, even had to step in and correct him when he strayed from the details he had originally shared with her. But December 2024 brought an unexpected twist.
So, outside of the court, Courtney, your lawyer said that she was going to try and get the book put back on Amazon, but not the PG version that was put up, the real, heavy version. And has there been any measures taken to do that?
No. The book will be taken down exactly at 12 p.m. I don't want to have nothing to do with the book no more. That's why it took so long to be put out, because I'm not into putting books out like that. I didn't even read the book.
Absolutely shocking. Courtney had never even read the book, yet he began distributing it. One can only wonder, why would someone do such a thing? Was it driven by greed? Or is he retracting his claims now that the feds have involved him? Or could he be trying to shield Khorram Simmons? Notably, she has not publicly denied any of the allegations Courtney has made. Conspiracy theorists seized on this moment, speculating that Courtney Burgess might have been working for Jay-Z, or even Ariel Mitchell herself. However, no factual evidence supports these claims, leaving them firmly in the realm of conjecture. As for Mitchell, she has since pivoted to represent a new claimant, LaTroya Grayson, from Oklahoma. Grayson alleges that she was lured. Douglas Wigdor. Wigdor, known for his work on high-profile harassment cases, took on Cassie Ventura's lawsuit, opening the floodgates for others. His quiet, methodical approach contrasts sharply with the media frenzy surrounding the case. Although he's less known to the public compared to the other lawyers, the tidal wave truly began with Cassie and Wigdor. As the case continues to unfold, it's certain that if Cassie is called to testify, Wigdor's role will become even more pivotal. In biblical times, those who could see into the future or communicate with the spirit realm were revered as prophets. As we step into 2025, a year already fraught with uncertainties and shocking revelations about once trusted public figures, a new wave of individuals has emerged, people whose predictions or prophecies have been disturbingly accurate. Among them, Celestial, who 2 years ago declared that T.D. Jakes was a false prophet destined to face a fall, has captured attention. Similarly, Jaguar Wright has become a polarizing figure, championing change in the music industry. Yet one woman stands out for her chillingly precise foresight, sparking conspiracy theories that she might be a CIA operative.
change, and she wasn't privy to everything, but a whole hell of a lot she saw. So everything she's writing about, like, she's kind of saying, I saw it. Like, I lived it. I saw it. It happened. This is what happened. So she doesn't really understand why that can't come out if that's what you're doing. He literally went dark, black eyes, dark, completely shut down and dark. So she didn't even know who she was dealing with. Deceitful, duplicitous, two-faced is the word she uses, liar, two-faced. She can see, by the way, she can see everything that he's done after her passing. She can hear him and she can see him. So if you think that you've sent her away or that you're keeping her bound, because she's basically saying that something is being done by this person whom she had children with, and you are going to stand so noted, accountable within the next 5 months. He's trying desperately to backpedal out of this.
This woman, Sloan, predicted Diddy's downfall and has since claimed that Jay-Z will be next, followed by Snoop Dogg, and that Justin Bieber will soon speak out, sharing his own revelations. In a world increasingly defined by confusion and the erosion of physical and spiritual guidance, one must wonder, are psychics becoming the new societal oracles? A book titled The Conscious Universe suggests that the U.S. government has quietly operated remote viewing programs for decades. Do they know something we don't? And could Sloan genuinely be onto something? The past 5 years have shattered many people's perceptions, lifting masks and exposing hidden truths.
Kevin Hart taking a photo for Jay-Z's Instagram.
My God.
Take a picture while we're talking.
Quick, take this picture so it makes it look like I'm making Kevin Hart laugh.
But as the veil continues to thin, one question remains. What happens next? Only God and time will tell. Thanks for joining us on this journey. If you found this episode intriguing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing you the stories that matter. And if you'd like to go the extra mile to support our work, consider using the Super Thanks feature below. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, stay curious and stay tuned.